And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your Precision Racing League's American PS4 F1 Championship Series. I'm your host for this evening, Hootius. Out there in Twitchland, you know me as Old Man Hoot. Tonight, very excited for race number 9, season number 10. We are in Austria. This is the Red Bull Ring circuit. Second time around that we have driven this track on F1 2017. Though the first time around we had a little bit more random, if you will, with some weather. Not so much tonight, as we're watching J-Rod on his warm-up lap having a little bit of issues, but last time we were here we qualified in the wet, raced in the dry. Our resident meteorologist, Aerostrike, has informed us that we're not going to have a cloud in the sky. We're going to be dry all the way through. And the commentator curse is striking early tonight, folks. Let's go ahead and talk about... damn it. So, we were riding with J-Rod in his Red Bull. He was going to give us the track tour of Red Bull Ring, because last week at Baku landed his first career podium when he brought her home in third. And unfortunately, J-Rod got her spun around, could not spin it around back in time enough, and the game disqualified him. Now, he will be able to race tonight, but J-Rod will be starting in 15th place and is going to have to do some masterful driving up through the field if he wants to have the success he had last week. So we have a couple drivers out there on their outlaps now. Let's go ahead and see if somebody... You know what we're going to do? We're going to drive around with Nick Dye. Nick currently sitting third in the points. He actually made a lovely donation to the site, sponsored this race. So Nick has had plenty of success here in the past, really loves this track. When he comes around, we're going to go ahead and take a tour with him. He's through Sector 2 right now, so we've got a few more moments, so let's talk about it. Point situation. Last week at Baku, McSendit won his 6th race out of the 8 that we've had so far this season. So McSendit is on a tear. He is your points leader by a really, really significant margin. He's already got 95 points to the good over second place. But we'll talk about second place in a moment, as now we hop on board with the Williams. Here we go. Coming down the front pitch stretch, this is one of 2 DRS zones. It's a decently sized straight. Then you get to a relatively hard braking zone for that right. The thing with turn 1, though, is it does carry some okay speed. It's all about getting momentum down this curve straight that you're flat out. Here's where your big opportunity is in turn 2. Hard on the brakes, down to 40 miles an hour. Quick 180, back on it for the second DRS stretch. So going into turn 2 is going to be big for overtakes. Also getting a great run out of turn 2 to set you up down the DRS straight into turn 3 right here. You come out of it pretty wide, trying to gain speed. It's going to be a little bit more bendy. Now here it is. We're going to have back-to-back left-handers. They're a little wide, a little far apexy. Not, I would say, prime passing opportunities, but it can definitely ruin someone's momentum and set them up to be overtaken. Now, after that quick right, we're going to have one more short shoot into a set of right-handers. Now, Nick, though, is going to go ahead and park it in on this one. Right there was the final turn anyway that takes you down the pit stretch. So, as you can tell by our track tour, a very, very quick circuit here in Austria for the Red Bull Ring. We're doing laps in minute 5. So we're going to have a lot of laps in the race tonight. And as you can tell, too, it's something goes wrong. It could go wrong quick and really bad for a lot of people, especially early when the whole field is gaggled up. Alright, so after the first set, and we see there's a pretty decent mix of ultra softs and super softs going now. Now, this is a one-stop race, but chances are, last time we were here, we did not see any ultra supers one-stops. We saw ultras and soft one-stops and supers and softs one-stops. Oh, we have a Sector 2 yellow. That might just be somebody moving. Oh, nope. That was Bubba who whipped it around. But that's all right. Bubba's on his cooldown lap. He's got to come get a new set of tires anyway, so. Bubba probably got a little bit of grass letting somebody through there. All right, now let's backtrack. We were talking about McSendit, our points leader. 95 points to the good. That is almost 4 full races. Absolutely nuts, and we're not even halfway through this season. McSendit has been, just like we said, on a tear. 6 wins. The 2 races he didn't win, he came in second. Second place in points, Odoms, the only other driver to win this season. And gotta give a shout out to Odoms. We hate to hear the news. Unfortunately, he had a little bit of issues, had to go visit the hospital. He's okay, nothing threatening. Maybe feeling a little bit good on painkillers. He's not racing tonight. But just shout out to Odoms. You know, we always hate to hear something like that happen to anyone, let alone one of our drivers. So best of wishes out there to him. I would say, hopefully he's watching the broadcast and cheering on the guys that he races with on a weekly basis. But he might be taking a nap, so I'm not going to hold it against him tonight. Now, the guy that we were taking the track tour with, Nick Dahi, is actually, he is tied with Forza right now. Both drivers are sitting 99 points back, but they're within 4 points of Odoms. So while McSenda is running away with the top spot in the championship, it is wide open from pretty much second, third, and fourth. And don't lay too far back either on, he's not going to make it tonight either. I was going to say Woody's is back in 5th place, but unfortunately he's going to miss another race. So while McSenda's points battle is, pretty boring, pretty much throughout the field there's a lot of spots up for grabs here. Alright, let's go ahead and look at the board a little bit more closely. Now, we saw McSenda was sitting P1 on Ultras. Arrow sitting P2 on Ultras. Forza put down his first lap on Super Softs, so now he's got Ultra Softs out there. Knowing that pretty much everybody is going to be on a one-stop strategy, Forza, maybe he would feel more comfortable from a tire wear perspective on the Super Softs, but he can't let McSenda run away to an early. That's what McSenda did at Baku last week and never turned. Forza in Sector 2 right now. Keeping an eye now. Last time we were here, Forza finished 3rd. However, he had really a tough break in qualifying. It was really weird. It was kind of early into this game. There were some glitches. And one of the glitches was one of our drivers was stuck in pit road, yet the AI sent his car out anyway. Forza was in the green. He was set... Actually, Forza's coming into pit right now. Forza did not like his hot lap. He's going to go ahead and get a fresh set of tires. He does have time for one more shot at it. But Forza was on his way to a potential pole lap. But that AI car that got sent out with no driver ended up not ghosting and caused Forza damage on his very final out lap. And Odoms is in chat. Aww. Thanks for hanging out with us, buddy. Alright, Dahi. Sitting 4th. He's going to give his shot on Ultras. Aaron Webb right now on Supers. Currently setting P5. As we saw, he's not on a hot lap. He's just getting out of the way for everybody. Shout out to Ranga. Ranga missed last week at Baku. Currently sitting P6 right now. Very nice lap for Ranga. We got Dano in 7th. Dano had a career race last week at Baku. Finished 4th. And a strong run in his Red Bull. He's looking to have another, back up that performance tonight. Alright, we've got B. Moore currently in 8th. Brian Mosser currently in 9th. Caesar in 10th. K-Dog sitting in 11th. Pucks. We've got Bubba down in 13th. Packnum in 14th. And unfortunately, J-Rod, who's starting last. Because of the fault of the game, really. He was just being safe, trying to let other cars get by when he spun, and then it disqualified him. Now, he brought it up in chat, so we're going to call it out here on the broadcast. Bubba currently sitting P13 right now. He has 1 finish in the points so far this season. Bubba also competes in our Tuesday night Project Cars 2 GT3. Had a very strong Porsche. Went from 5th to 1st in the first lap at the Texas Roval. Then Bubba tried to wheelman a little bit too much. Unfortunately, the car did not finish in one piece. Bubba did lead the first handful of laps and ran 2nd for the entire first half of the race. So Bubba is looking for redemption tonight. He wants a points finish in that Haas machine. We're rooting for it too. Bubba is a fan favorite here on the broadcast. So, ultimately, if Bubba can up his qualifying spots a few more, that would be awesome. However, there is success to starting in the back. When I was a driver in this league, I kind of made a career out of it. I only ever had one top 10 qualifying. I did like to utilize tire strategies early and kind of make my way through the chaos. And as good as these drivers, Bubba's gonna have issues. He's gonna whip it around. That's gonna be it for Bubs. So at best, he'll be 13. But even the pros have it. Turn 1 here at Red Bull Ring is very, very inviting off a standing start. So with guys trying to get in an early position and that turn not being really wide at all unless you want to get a track warning early for going too wide, we could see some contact, we could see a spin, we could see shattered wings. So what Bubba needs to do back there is just worry about keeping it clean on that first lap and then try to pick up the spots. Matter of fact, the first time around, not so sure if they've been there yet again, but the first time around, our European League ended up having, I believe it was a 8-car pileup coming out of turn 1 when they were here at Red Bull Ring. So let's hope that doesn't happen here. But what is happening here is we are at the end of qualifying, and Forza did jump up and he grabbed Aerostrike. So McSendit captures the pole by a half second over Forza. Aero currently sitting P3. Caesar jumped up to 4th. Great lap for Caesar in his rookie season in this league. He drops down to 5th. We got Aaron Webb in 6th. All right, and we're looking at the best fit. So 5th and 6th, Dahi and Aaron Webb will be on Supers. Our top 4 are going to be on Ultras. We've got Pucks in 7th, Renga in 8th, Dano in 9th, B-More in 10th. All on Ultras. And this is going to be it. The only cars out there right now are AI cars. So we're looking at Brian Mosser. There we go. So now it's official. So there's McSendit. Grabs yet another pole on the season. This would be number 4 out of 9 races. We talked about earlier, McSendit and Odoms are the only 2 with wins. They're also the only 2 with poles. So this puts McSendit now 4 poles to Odom's 5 in the season chase, if you will. Well, we were talking about earlier. So now Brian, K-Dog, Bubba, Pack, and J-Rod are all going to start on a fresh set of tires of their choosing. So they will be able to utilize what they feel is the proper strategy, but they need to take it easy on this first lap. And actually, Caesar, this is your first race? Maybe I've just caught you in practice races then. I was about to say, I could have sworn I know you've been around for a few. All right, here we go. And we got some other drivers calling out in chat. Dano, not happy with this quali performance. Bubba, not happy with the quali performance. Pretty sure B-More back there in 10th. He couldn't be happy either. So we got some guys looking to make some early moves in this race. But like we said, turn 1 is very, very dangerous. So we're going to see who can pay off with the patience. All right, the countdown is going. Here we go. There is no parade lap. The guys are going to go on the line. We're going to jump to Nick Dahi in 5th place. He's going to take us through turn 1 as the lights are out. Looking up front, Forza looking at a good start. He is side by side with McSendit as they go into turn 1. Arrow looking at the outside of Caesar. Forza's going to grab the top spot. And that's Aaron Webb on the inside of Nick Dahi as they're going side by side. McSendit with a strong run down the straightaway, though. He's back side by side with Forza. Caesar's tucked in 3rd place, watching the 2 battle. And Forza protect that inside line. Let's jump out of the car. Let's go up there. So Forza still driving defensively right now. Working those inside lines as McSendit trying to carry that outside speed. They're wheel to wheel now. If McSendit can hold it, he will have the preferred line. Come up here to turn 4. And there you go. Your pole sitter has the lead back. Forza's going to go for an over-under. Great move by Forza, but McSendit's going to have the There you go. McSendit does have the preferred line. Coming up to the next turn. Great driving by the two champions. There you go. McSendit has retaken the lead. All right, Forza with the decent run. No DRS. Oh, and I think we saw a spin. Yes, we did. Unfortunately, there was a Renault. That was K-Dog. So K-Dog with some early wing damage. Tough break for him. Dano also, the right side of that ring is off. He has got a pit. Bubba has taken it easy. That wing is intact. So good job for Bubba. Let's take it back up front as we have a battle. Forza still all over the back of McSendit. Caesar not letting those two breathe. We also have a battle going on between Arrow and Dahi. Dahi just overtook the Ferrari. We got Ranga and Aaron Webb battling it out side by side. Aaron goes a little bit wide. He's going to be able to carry that speed, though. Tucks it in. Nose to tail right now, 4th through 7th. Actually, make that 4th through 8th as B-More is joining this battle now. Ranga goes a little wide. B-More closing it. Aaron goes wide. He kicked up a little bit of dirt. Both drivers given a ton of room. A lot of respect right there going on. They know, big picture, you cannot afford a broken wing this early. So Ranga, instead of driving it in when he saw Aaron had issues, just backed off a little bit, secured the car. Smart play by Ranga. As we go back up front, Forza all over the back of McSendit still. And this time, DRS will be available after turn 2. Caesar fell back a little bit. He currently is at a DRS zone of Forza, and he's got Nick Dahi closing in on him. So we've got a battle for the lead for him. We've got a battle for 3rd for him. B-More is all over the back of Ranga for the battle of 7th. And here we go. McSendit uses DRS, Forza uses DRS. McSendit protects the inside lane. Can Forza do the over-under? He's trying to get her to turn. All right, he's going to ask. Nope, he can't do it. McSendit's going to be clear and has the preferred line. Just a tremendous battle to start this race off. Previous champion McSendit, 3-time champion Forza, showing that caliber. Oh, no! Caesar went wide. He spun. All right, he missed everybody. Huge wings damage for Caesar. Tough break as he was in 3rd place. Great job by everybody else missing him. Caesar's letting the field go by. He's going to whip it around. It's going to be an early pit stop for Caesar. Tough break in his debut race. All right, Forza with DRS. Looking on the inside of turn 1. McSendit with a great run. Forza can't make it stick. We have a sector 3. Oh no! And Caesar, unfortunately, he had the gravel, he had the grass, he had everything on his tires. And he couldn't make it back to pit road. He actually wrecked trying to enter pit road. Oh, such an amazing debut start is going to end in a DNF, unfortunately, for Caesar. Tough break. As Pucks now is the newest driver to pit for wing damage early. So if we look, we've got Pucks, Dano, and K-Dog, 3 drivers who have changed early wings. All right, Forza still all over the back of McSendit. Dahi now with a strong pace. He is moving up into this lead battle. All right, right now, our big mover of the race, not a shocker. We talked about him. Last week, his first podium at Baku. J-Rod surviving all the early shenanigans. And he's got himself up to P8. He is +6 right now. It's a great job by J-Rod. Back up front. Forza. Tucked in behind McSendit. To the very sharp turn 2. Forza's going to open DRS. Can he get a run going into turn 3? Dahi has DRS open. Arrow strike now. Arrow's just out of DRS of Dahi. Our top 3 are really tight, especially our top 2 drivers. Starting to fan out a little bit. Oh, a little bit of grass kicked up. Forza cannot take advantage of it quite yet. Forza still trying to keep it close. Dahi still trying to close in. Arrow now within a second. Oh, a little bit of wheel spin by Dahi. Good catch. That's going to ruin his run down this straightaway, though. However, he still had DRS, so Not the end of the world there. Now, last time, let's talk about it. For anybody who watched me during the practice race before this, it's super easy to cut one and to ride wide out of the final turn as Forza took a little bit of a look. Last time we were here at Red Bull Ring, time penalties were a factor. All but 2 drivers had a time penalty. So they've got to really, even though they're racing super hard right now, Forza, he's got to take a peek on the inside. McSend nice and smooth on the outside. All right, they're wheel to wheel. McSend is going to have the preferred line coming up here into turn 4. Forza's trying to ride him close. If Forza can maintain, no, he can't. I was about to say, if he could just maintain a wheel on wheel overtake, he would have. Oh no, we have our second retiree, and this one's going to be Pucks. We've got to go back up front. All right, Forza went a little bit wide, lost a couple car lengths. McSend a little bit of wheel spin, great catch there. But that's going to allow Dahi now to close in on Forza. Personally, I think the driver who is sitting pretty right now is Dahi. Remember, Dahi started on Super Softs. Now Forza, McSend, Arrow, if those guys are pushing their... Oh, here we go. Dahi's making a look at Forza, trying to outbrake him. Couldn't get the traction, hit the inside curbing. Forza's going to maintain second. This is what McSend wants to see right now. He wants Dahi and Forza to start duking it out and seeing if McSend can try to pull away. It's not often we've had a tight gaggle up this. Normally it's McSend and Odoms, or one over the other by a couple seconds. But this is a tight 4-car battle as we see Arrow is fully entrenched in this right now. Got to jump up to Forza, taking a peek at McSend. What we were saying is you can one-stop with Ultras and Softs. But if Dahi is on Super Softs right now, he can try to push these guys as hard as he can to get them to burn up their tires. Maybe pit earlier than they want to, and they have to conserve more on the softs. Dahi's trying to play for late race right now. As we just had a pass for 7, so J-Rod has overtaken B-More. J-Rod is continuing his march up through the field now, plus 7 on the race. Big shout out to the Red Bull driver. Forza. Oh, and I just jinxed him as J-Rod just got our first time penalty. See, 3 seconds there at the bottom. Alright, Forza's starting to fall back just a little bit, but he's also getting pressure from Dahi. Dahi just took a little peek, nothing too serious, didn't want to fully commit. Odom's calling out. We're going to hop on board. Does our leader have any wing damage? The fact that he has not pulled away like we've seen him do race after race. And to me, the wing looks pretty good. There's at least no visible damage. Maybe it might be yellow or a yellowish green, but nothing broken on McSend. Just Forza, Dahi, and Arrow right now having really strong early runs. Trying to keep the pressure on our points leader. And shout out to Aaron Webb, qualified 6th, up to 5th. Just a couple seconds behind Arrow now. He has them all pretty much well in his sights. And B-More came into the pit too hot. So unfortunately that's going to be a 5-second penalty for B-More. Alright, Ranga currently sitting in 6th. You got to move up. I just saw the Delta close in really tight. I want to make it through the field. I want to give all the drivers their love, but it's hard right now to pull away from a multi-car battle up front. Alright, we're trying to get a closer look. To be honest, I think I'm with you, Odoms. He may have just slight damage, nothing visible, but enough that's affecting him right now. Because McSend did qualify a half-second faster than Forza, but he's not able to pull away. Whoa! Big-time tail whip out of McSend. Forza's going to get a strong run. McSend's protecting the inside. He knew he did not have the run he needed at that final turn. Forza looking for the over-under. McSend went wide. Great move by Forza. Dahi is all over Forza now. McSend's going to fall down to 3rd. I'm actually, Arrow Strike now is making a move on the defending champion. He's going to tuck it in. Looking up front, Dahi took a peek. Nothing really Now Dahi is all over Forza. He wants this lead right now. He wants to be able to push it on those super soft tires. We were saying how tight these guys were. McSendit made the first mistake. He blinked first, and it cost him 3 spots just like that. But all the guys are nose to tail. And that's going to bring Aaron Webb even closer into the battle round. Got 2 Ferraris right now sitting in podium spots. Send it all over the back of Arrow. All right. He has DRS, but then again, everybody behind Forza right now has DRS. So it's not going to help as we dive into turn 1. See McSendit that time. He could not, he couldn't make that same mistake twice. And looking up front, Dahi's taking a peek to the outside. Oh, Dahi will spin! Oh, so close! Oh, so close. This is going to hurt Dahi as Arrow gets a run now. Both drivers have DRS. Dahi is going to have the preferred line coming into turn 3. Arrow's not making it easy on him. We've seen these two drivers have some amazing battles side by side. And Arrow! McSendit even trying to stick a nose in there. Again, Arrow and Dahi oh, there we go. Arrow completed the overtake. Dahi now. Trying to get by the Ferrari. He wants to chase Forza back down. Whoa! McSendit too hot. That's a broken wing for McSendit. McSendit's coming in the pits now. Forza's coming in the pits now. Alright, so give the lead to Arrow Strike. He's got Dahi breathing all down his neck. The tough break for McSendit. Luckily for McSendit, he was right there at the pits, but it's going to cost them an additional 6 seconds or so to change out that wing. Alright, as soon as they come in the pits, we'll check to see if traffic is going to be a player in this. But in the meantime, we're watching Dahi lock it up, trying to get around the Ferrari of Arrow Strike this time. Oh no, and we had another DNF, and it was Dano. Oh, tough break for Dano. Race already kind of had him behind the 8 ball with early damage, and unfortunately, one more good smack, and that was it for the Red Bull. Arrow now with a really solid run through Sector 2, getting a little bit of the breathing room, but we were talking about it, through all this craziness, Aaron Webb has introduced himself into this battle now. Let's go back. So Forza and McSendit now. They've both gotten around McLaren, though we see the gap. There is 9 seconds between Forza and McSendit now because McSendit had to change that wing. Tough break for the defending champion. Massive break for the 3-time champion. Arrow's in the pits. Let's see how the Ferraris compare as Arrow's coming out. Forza is on the front stretch, and that 1-lap undercut is looking good for Forza. Matter of fact, excuse me, it was a 2-lap undercut. Forza's already out and around turn 1. Arrow was right on his tail pre-pit stop. And look at that. Forza now has 3 seconds over his teammate. Now it's going to be a matter of when Nick Dahi is. And he's got Aaron Webb all over him. Both drivers started on super softs. What they need in their favor, though, is the fact that when they go to the soft compound, when they pit, they know they can push those soft tires a lot harder than Forza and McSendit can. They've got to hope that those couple laps of advantage is going to work in their favor, because right now they are going to be losing time. Even though it's a harder compound, Forza's on a fresh set of tires, so he will be running faster laps. Ranga, he's going to tuck it in. He'll give up 4th place. He's going to come pit. Huge shout out to J-Rod, who started on supers as well, just like Nick and Aaron. Using some pit strategy to his advantage. And he got another 3-second penalty. J-Rod's got to get that under control. He is having a great race right now, but that is 6 seconds worth of penalties for J-Rod. He wants to have a good finish. He needs to keep that car between the white lines. Can't afford to give away free spots. And I just mentioned it. Even though he's on the harder compound, Forza just set the fastest lap of the race. So while Nick and Aaron are out there utilizing this tire strat, they've got to be careful. Dude, the commentator curse is real, Odom. It is real. Forza now is up to 4th. Arrow to 5th. So, let's look the interval to leader right now. Forza is within 13 seconds of Dahi. And that is well within range to take that lead as soon as the top 3 pit. An Arrow strike now. Remember, it was McSendit. They were literally nose to tail. McSendit broke his wing on the back of Arrow strike. So they were nose to tail when McSendit pit. And Arrow has 5 seconds over him due to that wing change. Alright, we're going to take a little bit of a breather now. So we've talked about the top 6 a lot. Shout out to Renger right now. He's +1. He's made his pit stop. So he is good to go from here. We've got McLaren sitting in 8th. He still needs to pit, though. Remember, he started outside the top 10. He had a fresh set of supers. So I'm not shocked that he has not pit yet. We've got B Moore in 9th. Bubba currently right now in 10th. Same thing. Bubba was able to start on those fresh supers. Has not pitted yet. Bubba and tire conservation normally don't go hand in hand, so this is great for Bubba. He should be able to easily one-stop on the supers into regular softs. So that's going to work out for the Haas driver as he tries to finish in the points for the 2nd time this season, and there's the commentator curse. Just like I did to him on the GT3 race, Bubba whips it around in turn 2. Gets her going. Not going to lose a spot, but he's going to lose a big chunk of time. I'm going to keep the camera off Bubba. Alright, Dahi now starting to pull away from Aaron Webb. Whoa, Aaron. It's very dangerous on those rumples right there. Able to keep his Force India under control. Great save right there, but really scary moment. Alright, McSendit starting to close in on Arrow. Arrow starting to close in a little bit on Forza now. McSendit pretty much knows he has absolutely no room to give. Is he on supers? No, we've got the tire glitch. He's on softs. McSendit has to use up every bit of those soft tires. He's got to run hard if he wants to try to podium tonight. As Bubba went ahead and called it quit on those super soft tires after that spin, he is pitted. He is putting on fresh softs. B Moore is now overtaking McLaren. All right, here we go. Aaron Webb's coming into pit, and Dahi's coming into pit as well. So, 1 and 2, both coming in. No speeding penalties. Both drivers are going to go to the yellow soft tires. Or the yellow soft tires that turn into red tires. Thank you, Cody's. And there comes Forza. We talked about it. Forza was able to burn up those early laps on those softs. Really covered Arrow and McSendit as well. So our 3 early pitters now have gaps over Dahi and Aaron Webb, but Dahi and Aaron now on those soft tires can run them as hard as they can. They can easily do the remaining 20 laps on those soft tires. So they're going to utilize every bit of that tire life. J-Rod, though, still needs to pit right now. If we look back at the interval to Ranga, it's under 19 seconds, so when J-Rod comes into pit, he actually could fall down as far as 7th place. B Moore is a little bit too far back in hand. I believe Ranga does have the pit delta covered. You know, I'm agreeing with you, Odoms. I do believe, even though Aaron and Dahi wanted those extra laps for the tires, they're just going to need tremendous pace. If I was them, I probably would have pitted earlier and not cared about trying to take the supers to their extent and got on the softs early. All right, now even though it's due to pit cycles, we've got to give the man his due. J-Rod started dead last after not being able to qualify and is up in the lead right now. Like we mentioned, though, as soon as he does pit, he's probably going to fall down to 7th, but that's still an absolutely amazing run by the Red Bull driver. Like we said, started dead last in the field, navigated his way through the craziness of the first few laps. You know, he's got Forza breathing all down his neck right now. Forza is almost within a second. This will probably be the last lap that J-Rod has on these supers. If I was him, I'd go ahead and pit right now. That's a pretty unique camera angle. And he's going to stay out. Unless J-Rod is trying to go for a supers to ultra strategy. If he feels comfortable enough in his own tire wear that he could do that, more power to him. But we have yet to see a driver try to do that now, as J-Rod on those worn tires just couldn't get the run out of turn 1 like Forza could. Easy overtake for the 3-time champion. Forza back up into P1. Looking at the intervals now. Dahi and Aaron. Aaron 2 seconds back at Dahi. Dahi 2 seconds back at McSendit. McSendit now has got it down to under a second and a half to Arrow. Arrow's fallen a little bit further behind. It was 4 seconds. Now it's about 4.5 seconds behind Forza. Here we are in Sector 3. McSendit closing in. He's now within DRS of Arrow. This is realistically the battle for second, since J-Rod does have to make a pit stop. Woody's my man, thanks for hopping in. And Odoms is right, this has been absolutely nuts. Pre-pit stops, we had a 4-car battle for the lead. It was absolute insanity. Just fantastic racing. McSendit now just a half second behind Arrow. Whoa! McSendit with that wheel spin on acceleration. That's what cost him the lead in the first place. Gotta keep her under control. McSendit though, he knows he needs to make quick work of Arrow if he wants to try to chase down Forza. Somebody that doesn't want that to happen though is Dahi. Dahi wants McSendit to get up there, get to Arrow, and those two start duking it out. That way Dahi could try to close that gap and introduce himself back into the battle for a podium position. And I believe this time he's hugging the right side. Yes, J-Rod is going to pit. So the final car to pit on the track. J-Rod's going to relinquish second place. We're expecting him to fall down to about 7th. Little Red, thank you so much for the follow. Very much appreciated. As I had my PRL logo blocking the notifications. My apologies. Arrow protecting that inside. McSendit going for an over-under. Couldn't quite make it. Super, super close with the left side of that wing. And we talked about it, so just this little bit of battling going on right now. Forza is opened up over a 4-second lead. Dahi now has an under 2 seconds. McSendit has a really aggressive setup on this car. He's not really planting too hard. He's trying to use the curbing as much as possible. The car's sliding on him now. Trying to keep her under control. No! Arrow strike! I believe he just did keep it off the wall. Or he may have had just tire contact. The right side of that wing is intact, thankfully for Arrow strike. But give McSendit second place now. That is not what Forza wanted at all. Forza, like Dahi, wanted those two to duke it out, but McSendit's now going to take second place and try to chase down Forza. So if Arrow doesn't have any wing damage, he's not going to make it easy on McSendit. He's going to try to close that gap back and see if he can give it to the defending champion. We've got Dahi behind him in 4th. Now, it shows reds, but really Dahi's on soft, just like the other guys. Dahi is able to run these softs harder. He does not have to worry about tire conservation. So Dahi's trying to close this gap. He's pulled away from Aaron. That was 2 seconds, now it's 3. So Dahi trying to introduce himself in this podium battle right now. Just a couple tenths away from being within DRS. Dahi looking strong right now. Dahi needs Aero, though, to keep it within DRS of McSendit. I'm wondering if Aero maybe did get a little, just slightly discoloration. That yellowish green wing damage. As shout out to J-Rod on that fresh set of Ultras. So J-Rod did go Supers to Ultras. And just threw down the fastest lap of the race. And is only a second behind Ranga. So shout out to J-Rod. Started last. Trying to battle for 6th place. Dahi now within DRS zone of Aerostrike. Our 2 battles for position going on right now. Aero still trying to keep it close enough to McSendit, just out of DRS. We're going to keep the camera bouncing between Dahi and J-Rod. Whichever battle ends up forming first, that's who we're going to ride with. And it's going to be J-Rod. He just gained 3/10 on Ranger right there. J-Rod looking strong. I have a feeling, though, once J-Rod, once he can get around Ranga, though, he'll probably have to start taking it a little bit easier if he wants to conserve those Ultras all the way to the end. And actually, Ranga's on Ultras. Or, nope. The purple tires magically turned yellow as we had an insanely close moment right there. J-Rod just did back it off. Stayed off the back of Ranga. Kept his wheel intact. Hopped the car a little bit on that yellow curve. But a great run closes him right back up to Ranga. Dahi's getting closer. Utilizing that DRS. Closing in on Aerostrike. McSendit now starting to pull away from Aero a little bit. It's over in 2nd and a half. McSendit now under 3 seconds in Forza. And there we go. J-Rod used a strong run into turn 2. He's going to overtake Ranga. J-Rod plus 8 on the night. Fantastic run for the Red Bull driver. Though he has a bit of a way to go if he wants to try to make it top 5. He's got 12 laps pretty much to clear out 12 seconds if he's going to try to challenge Aaron Webb for the top 5 spot. Dahi now. Great run out of the final turn. He's going to have DRS. Aero's going to protect the right side. He wants that preferred lane going into turn 1. Dahi's going to try to make a strong run on the outside. Alright, you saw it. Aero clipped a little bit of that raised yellow curbing. Could not get the run he wanted out of turn 1, and it's going to give P3 to Dahi. Here we go. Hard into turn 2. Dahi locks it up, trying not to let Aero outbrake him. Aero's going to have DRS. Dahi's still trying to protect his spot right now. He wants to get into a position where he's totally clear of Aero, doesn't have to worry about a battle. And then he wants to start trying to see if he can chase down McSendit. As a matter of fact, McSendit is on a tear right now. McSendit is only a second behind Forza. So McSendit has eliminated the time spent in the pits for that wing change. Forza next time around is going to be 11 to go. And McSendit is now within DRS. So Forza is going to start taking the defensive approach, and that's exactly what Nick Dahi is going to want to see. He's going to want to see Forza driving defensively, slowing the Ferrari and the Mercedes down, and that Williams driver is going to try to erase that 3 seconds, see if he can't introduce himself into the battle for the lead. Aero is sticking to the back of Dahi, which is great for Aero because if Dahi can enter the battle for the lead, that means Aero is going to enter the battle for the lead. Trying to shake it out to be just like how this race started with a 4-car battle up front. Aaron Webb sitting back in 5th place. Now, the thing with Aaron, though, is he's 4 seconds behind Aero. So, if anything was to really happen, if the top 4 guys start really duking it out and mixing it up, somebody gets a little wiggly, somebody goes wide into some grass, maybe get some gravel on the tires, Aaron Webb would look to take that Force India up a couple spots. So while he does need a little bit of help, Aaron is not in a bad position at all right now. But J-Rod is trying to close it in. We were talking 12 seconds and 12 laps. He's already got that now under 10 seconds to Aaron Webb. So J-Rod's going to try to make the battle up into the top 5. Extend it with a really nice run. 0.8 of a second now on Forza as they're starting to come up on some lap traffic. And I thought that was too close. Extend it 3 seconds. As far, I have not seen Forza or Dahi or Aero with a 3-second penalty. So that could be huge, huge in the final standings. This means now McSendit cannot mess around. He has got to get to Forza, and he has got to get by him and drive to try to cover that 3-second delta. Drivers coming up on the Haas of Bubba. Bubba currently running in 11th place right now. Bubba is trying to get through Sector 2 as fast as possible. This is really not a good spot to be caught, so you see Bubba's wheeling it right now, trying to get himself in a prime spot to get out of the way for these leaders. Bubba very respectful. He knows he doesn't want to impede on the lead. Matter of fact, Bubba's going to get a nice clean run to the front stretch. I believe that's where we're going to see the Haas go ahead and just move himself out of the way. Forza doesn't want him to move out of the way too quick, though. Forza wants this slipstream. There goes Bubba. Moves it, gets on the brakes. Fine job by Bubba. Forza was happy with that. Utilized the slipstream a little bit. Kind of canceled out McSendit's DRS, not allowing McSendit to really take a drive into turn 1. Forza, there we go. We were talking about it. Forza is protecting the inside line. McSendit with a hard charge on the outside. There's wheel-on-wheel contact. Guys are driving close. All right, Forza's still trying to protect. And I believe through a pit stop, there's the Renault of K-Dog as well. So K-Dog and Bubba are actually battling it out for 10th place behind our leaders right now, but they got to be careful because Dahi is coming up. Looks like K-Dog's on a fresh set of Ultras, which kind of stinks for K-Dog because he's trapped behind our leaders right now on fresh tires, so he cannot utilize them to the fullest. Alright, DRS is open on McSendit. A little too far back to make a move into turn 1, though. Both drivers really aggressive. They got to be careful for any future time penalties. Especially right now, too, because Dahi, he's got to get it under 3 seconds. We know McSendit has a 3-second penalty, so he's got to close that gap. All over the back of the Ferrari in Sector 2. We see in the background, Bubba moving out of the way of Dahi. K-Dog still tucked in behind our leaders on those fresh tires, keeping himself close but not impeding. Which actually, this might be good for K-Dog because they are coming up on 9th place McLaren. So when McLaren goes to serve his blue flag and get out of the way of the leaders, K-Dog is going to try to stay tucked in behind the leaders and get an extra spot. Smart play by K-Dog. Forza protecting the inside line. McSendit following him, trying to get some slip. Oh, McSendit with a really good run out of turn 1. Forza immediately is trying to take that defensive line. He's going to force Arrow to the outside. Into turn 2. Forza with a really nice run. Looked like McSendit maybe trying to peek for an over-under, but Forza just had a solid run. That move was not there. Oh, and tough break for Bubba as he just got a 5-second penalty for ignoring blue flag. I know that's definitely not Bubba. I don't know if he just got caught at the wrong point or what happened there. Tough break for Bubs as he's trying to compete for that final point. As we mentioned, K-Dog a lap down, right behind the leaders. Not trying to challenge them, but trying to make sure he stays close enough to when McLaren in 9th place gets blue flags. K-Dog wants that spot. Now Dahi has got it down to about 2.5 seconds now that the battle is starting to pick up for the lead. So Dahi right now has the 3-second penalty from McSendit covered. You can only hope that McSendit and Forza trying to duke it out is going to result in more penalties for both drivers. And not only that too, Dahi is trying to close in, see if he can't get within DRS of K-Dog, the lapped car, and see if that can't help Dahi out. McSendit trying to get a strong run here out of Sector 2. See if he can't catch Forza at just the right moment. Hopping on board with the Mercedes. Alright, this time they're really close to McLaren. McLaren's moving to the inside. Trying to get out of the way. He's got to get on the brakes harder, though. Oh, no! Oh, no! McLaren was worried about giving up the spot to K-Dog and has cut off McSendit. So, tough break by McLaren, but fortunately he did impede on this leader's battle. McSendit's trying to close that gap back up. That was a huge break for Forza, gave him a little bit of breathing room. And actually a nice break for Dahi too, as now Dahi is just 2 seconds behind McSendit. Alright, we mentioned it earlier, unfortunately it looks like the Ultra Sauce of J-Rod, he did have to go into tire conservation mode. He is not closed in on Aaron the way he has. He's about 8 seconds behind with a handful of laps to go. And K-Dog has gotten around McLaren as well, so move K-Dog up to 9th place. Alright, McSendit. Closing in. That was about a second. Now it's 3/4 of a second. So closing in on Forza, keeping it within DRS. Super close to getting another penalty though. Man, he is really trying turn 1 right there. You hear that big time wheel spin out of McSendit. Couldn't quite get the run out of turn 2 like he wanted. Dahi's starting to fall back a little bit now. Dahi's at risk of not covering that 3-second delta. So McSendit also too, with a few laps to go, McSendit is at his fuel limit. He's not going to be able to really run rich. Forza does have a little bit. He's a quarter lap, a third of a lap really to the good. Dahi is, yeah, he's flirting too. Really, none of our top guys have too much fuel to play with. McSendit, though, as you can see, in the negative right now. He's trying to get every bit to work in his favor that he can. With a really nice run. Looking for a little bit of a late break. Gonna go for the over-under. Not there. Forza with a nice run out of 2. Out in front of both cars, I do not see any lap traffic. That's good. This is going to come down driver versus driver. McSendit and Forza. Ahead of the final turn. Forza with a decent run. McSendit's going to have DRS. Forza kind of leaning towards the right. Didn't really have to use. Oh! Wow! McSendit, I don't know how he didn't get another penalty right there. That was a definite cut. He's got to be on a final warning right now, so he's got to be really careful. Right now, he's already flirting with losing 2nd place to Dahi because of the first 3-second penalty. If he gets another one, that for sure, it'll be close with knocking him out of the podium. Because Arrow is right around 6 seconds behind him. We've got a Sector 2 yellow. Alright, let's do a quick peek through the field. And this is going to be McLaren. He's whipped it around. So it does appear the pack is going to be pretty far back. He won't be able to capitalize, so McLaren's going to keep that points position. Alright, McSendit. So here we go. Coming to the white flag. K-Dog has one of the best seats in the house. He is going to watch this final lap battle unfold right in front of him. Right away, Forza immediately looks to the inside. Extended didn't really get that strong of a run. Forza is able to swing wide, get a good run out of turn 1. Extended's going to utilize the strip. No way Forza does not hug the right side. Yep, he wants that inside lane for turn 2. Extended's going to go to the outside, go for a late break. Forza with a good run out. Extended with DRS. Again, Forza is going to protect this right-hand side going into turn 3. Extended with a really hard late break. He's trying to end everything he can, but just too much there. Forza's going to maintain the lead. This final battle, half a lap to go. Extended with a strong run in. Forza's still nice and smooth. And Dahi now, because of this battling, Dahi is only 1.5 seconds back. He's going to cover this 3-second penalty of Extended. Extended, though, knows he's going to lose a position, but still, the machismo of coming first to the line, and he's not going to do it. It's going to be Forza. Congratulations to Forza. He's going to pick up his first win of the season. Like we were expecting, Dahi is going to take second place over him Extended due to that 3-second penalty. Arrow is going to bring it home fourth. Aaron Webb in fifth. Great run for the Force India driver. J-Rod, the hard charger of the race, easily going to go +8 as he takes his Red Bull from 14th to 6th. So awesome job. Ranga, one more turn to go. And there you go, seventh place finish for Ranga. Congratulations to him. And B More, the final car in the lead lap, he's going to bring it home with 8th. K-Dog finished 9th, right behind our leaders. And actually, McLaren did have even bigger issues. This is going to be a point for Pack. This is going to be his first points finish. So congratulations, Packnam. In just his second race, he's going to collect a point. And there we go. McLaren crosses the line 11th, and that's going to put Bubba in 12th. What an amazing race we just had. Absolutely astounding. Like, the first 15 laps, 4-car battle for the lead, back and forth, absolutely nuts. And then 2 champions duking it out to the very end. So, just incredible runs there. There it is, first time this season. Forza Alonso taking the win. Dahi's going to take the second step of the podium. Extended third because of that time penalty. What an absolutely amazing race. And there we go. Arrow in 4th. We talked about Aaron in 5th. J-Rod with a couple penalties, but still manages to hold on to 6th. Ranga, B More, K-Dog, and Pack finish in the points. Then McLaren and Bubba, the final 2 drivers, to finish with 3 DNFs. Absolutely amazing race. And I believe J-Rod still maintained the fast lap of the race. I feel bad. K-Dog might have had a shot for it, but he was stuck on those ultras behind the leaders and never really could open her up. But also, too, it just goes to show great sportsmanship there of K-Dog. He would have been the fastest car there, obviously, but did not impede on the leaders, just tucked in behind and had a great show for that final 10 laps of the race. All right. Let us now send out some party invites. There's Forza. Send it. And Nick. We're going to have a lot to talk about here. Just amazing battles all throughout this race. Gentlemen. All right, we just need.
Dang, what a race that was.
Dude, I'm surprised my voice held. That was probably one of the best races I've ever commentated on. That was absolutely nuts. All right, we've got Nick in here now, so let's go ahead and get this party started. And I mean, really, we could almost talk to all three of you guys at the same time. Let's recap it real quick. So your winner tonight, first time this season, your 3-time champion, Forza Alonso, takes home the top step. McSendick crossed the line second, but a 3-second penalty drops him down to third, with Dahi finishing second tonight. But gentlemen, story of the race was just the battles, especially before the pit stops. We had an insane 4-car battle going on with Aerostrike with you guys. Let's talk about it. That looked like a ton of fun going on tonight.
Yeah, that definitely was, man. I wasn't too sure what to expect, this race. I had done a bit of practice here and there. I was planning on starting on the supers, but then I was like, you know what? I'll go on the ultras too and see if I can start in the front row and then make something happen at the start of the race. That was tough going into turn one. I kind of messed up, but luckily I didn't collect McSend because I would have sucked. But yeah, one hell of a battle, man. And it sucked too because I was having party chat issues with Arrow, so that whole race I wasn't even able to communicate with him at all. So yeah.
Well, it looked like too there wasn't much to communicate because Arrow wanted a piece of that action as well, man. All you guys were mixing it up great.
Oh yeah,
that was awesome to see.
I just didn't want to screw him over in the pit cycle, double stack. But yeah, no, that was definitely fun.
Well,
that was defense of my life.
Yeah, especially those last few laps. Like I was calling on commentary and I'm like, all right, on this straightaway, Force is going to hug the right. On this straightaway, Force is going to hug the right.
Yeah, there was just no way through.
Yeah, McSended, dude, you were trying your ass off to make any of those outside lines work, and it wasn't sticking on those worn out softs. But man, just amazing tries, amazing battles. You guys going wheel to wheel. It was nuts.
That was super nuts. Yeah, like it was just nonstop for me. It felt like too. Like the entire first stint was like defense, and then like, what happened? I just made a really big mistake coming out of the final corner, and I lost like 3 positions just from that. Like I was just I don't know,
you went wide. You costed 3 positions, and that almost cost you the race as well because I believe it was 2 laps later. You were a little late going into that second to last right-hander and just ran right into the back of Arrow, but luckily you were right at the entrance of pit road. So it only cost you the 5 seconds to change that win.
Nick, but yeah. Well, it was, yeah, that's true. But man, the 5 seconds is a lot to make up, and if you're only like a quarter of a second to half a second faster than the guy in front, it's like, man, there goes like over half of your race just like catching the first guy.
God forbid that happened in turn 2, and that 5 seconds then turns into like 15.
That's true. It happened at the perfect time, that's for sure.
I also had a scary moment. My car like popped up in the air for a second because I caught the curbing and went a little bit into the gravel because that's how McSendick gained like 2. I mean, he was gaining on me already, but
I noticed that too.
Like 2 seconds.
I didn't catch it in the gravel, but I figured there may have been a little bit of slip up because it did go from like 2.5 seconds to 1. I was like, oh, spicy.
Yeah. I will say another thing too that I forgot to say is, that was a pretty scary moment with the back marker there.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, I wasn't too happy about that either.
I was a little pissed about that.
I had to keep it professional on the
broadcast. That kind of sucked, man.
Yeah. That will be addressed.
Like I will say, just any back markers need to be a little bit more respectful.
Yeah, like the thing was, it looked like he saw us, like, and he moved over for us, but then he just didn't slow down.
The problem was too, and I know what his justification will be, but still, you've got to give more respect to the leaders. So K-Dog was on fresh ultras right behind you guys, and kudos to K-Dog. He stayed there, but never impeded. I know he was worried about K-Dog taking 9th spot away from him right then and there, but at that point, you can't impede leaders that late into the race, so. Yeah, it sucks. You just got to cough up that position for what's right for the race.
Yeah, luckily I didn't like, it cost me maybe like a second, second and a half, but I was able to make maybe not even that much, but because I was back on him again by the end of the race, so like no harm, no foul. It wasn't
Right.
that big of a deal. Didn't get any damage, but yeah, maybe just something we can learn from.
Well, speaking of learning from the guy who's been quiet, let's talk to our runner-up for the night, Dahi. I know hindsight's always 2020. Looking back at it now, do you regret staying out those extra couple laps on those super softs?
I don't know, because even on my super softs, like I had like 50-some% wear when they pitted, and I knew that it was going to be sketchy for me to make it from lap 12, just because in the traction zones here I was getting really bad rear tire wear. So I wanted to go the extra laps and then hopefully bring it back at the end, but I guess yeah, the tires didn't fall off enough. But really, I lost it in the beginning of the first stint because I had to get past, and I just couldn't
You were
get
definitely
past.
driving like a man possessed. You're normally really cool and collected, and you've had some great battles, especially side by side with like Arrow. We've seen you guys go entire laps side by side with that, so you're not afraid of battles. But you were really trying to make moves happen. So I spent a lot of time on top of your Williams. That was a lot of fun to watch. We could definitely tell you were trying to get out front quick.
Oh yeah, I was pushing really hard. Like after the first 2 laps, I think I realized that I was like, man, my tires are already better than theirs. So it's just kind of a matter of, they were kind of battling up front, and I just had to pick off a couple guys, and then the mistake with McSendit really put me in there. But yeah, I just couldn't get past, and then there was like a 3-car battle, and then I got pushed back behind Arrow again. At that point, I kind of figured I was going to be hard to make it in front of Forza or McSendit, or maybe even Arrow at that point. And then Arrow was kind of right up Aaron
Right.
was right behind me too after that. So I had to try to pull a gap. And then, yeah, I don't know. I'm happy with the strategy. I guess I could have hit 1 lap earlier maybe. But great job, guys. It was really hard to pass, and everything seemed pretty fair, so that was awesome.
Yeah,
it was
at
clean
worst we
racing.
saw tire on tire. The guy, the AI guys flicking each other off. But other than that, yeah, it was awesome. That was world class racing right there. It was hard. It wasn't dirty. There's some, I wouldn't say give and take, but yeah, I mean, that was just great driving all around. So I mean, I can't give you guys enough praise for this race tonight. This is going to be an absolute blast to watch back. That's for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Good times.
Yeah, definitely. I was surprised that I was like keeping up with McSended. I know you said that you didn't get that much practice or whatever, but yeah, man, I was really surprised by that. And from there, I was like, okay, that's it. I don't know, man. I focused up.
Yeah, we were questioning McSended. You didn't have any kind of
you were quick.
off-colored wing damage or anything in the beginning, did you?
No, honestly, no. Like I was still warming up was the thing. Like I haven't gotten on all day today, and then I got home with like 5 minutes till the race, and it's like, okay, let's do this. But
well,
yeah. So I mean, the car feels so weird with all that fuel, and I was just struggling. I was giving it all I had.
Not to talk shit about you, McSendit, but I did that in the truck race last night and I won. So. I cannot gloat many things over McSendit, but when I can, I gotta do it, damn it.
Damn, he's calling you a scrub, man. You're gonna take that?
Yeah, champ, what? Let's hop in a Porsche.
Yeah.
Do this fair.
Oh, man.
Were you guys close to a puncture at all?
Nah.
Yeah, I
Were you
was.
guys okay?
I finished the race at like 68% on my front left.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not too bad. Man, my rears are way worse than my fronts. Like double the tire wear.
Oh, double?
Well,
man, that's way too much.
I could kind of
Almost,
guess
yeah,
that
that's
with
crazy.
you two guys because you were definitely having some tire spin going on. Especially I saw it out of turn 2 and out of the final turn. You both had a couple times where it looked like you had to grab the shit out of the car or else you were eating the pit wall.
Dude, turn 2 is so slippery.
Corner.
I was
Yeah, turn
struggling
two.
at the
Fuck
end
that
in
corner.
sector 2 in the last few laps. I was so slow through there.
God, I know you were. Like, if there were just an opportunity for me to overtake in that sector, like, it was mine.
Hmm.
But yeah, that was it.
Well,
Still whoop that ass though. No, I'm just playing.
that's it. Forza's streaking off 11 road end of the season. This is just one of 11.
It begins.
Nah.
Good stuff though.
Nah, it was a good race though, man. Enjoyed it.
No, dude, that was one of my favorite races of all time. I have to say, like, that's probably a better battle than Russia.
I was about to say, I thought
Yeah.
Bahrain was like, top tier, and I think this one outdid that as well. This is, man, I don't know, because like even like Forza and Mitch at China that one time, and just we had so many great battles, but this was up there. This was absolutely nuts. And I know he's out in chat too, so I got to give the love to Arrow too. Arrow just made those first 15 laps that much more special with that 4-car battle we had up there. So hats off to him as well.
Yeah, that was crazy. Any little mistake from Senator I, and that would have been it for either of us. Nick and Arrow would have jumped us.
Yeah. But all right, gentlemen, I'll stop doing this kiss-ass rodeo. I'll give you one more shout-out again. Forza with the win. Nick second. McSended third. Gentlemen, just hats off. This was an absolute enjoy to call tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for doing what you do, man.
There you go, Twitch. It's now officially banter time. We finished off the interviews. But God damn, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So I like this track, man.
Yeah.